It's Zeus. Triple H. Honest, humble, handsome, straight facts. MAGA faithful. Your time's up, hypocrites, liars. Pack your bags. Straight to hell. No return. Let's annihilate. MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell. Hypocrites crying while your dear leader cast a spell. Racist, misogynist edition on the 6. Epstein territory warmonger, make them twitch.
What about my eggs? What about my gas? Groceries high as hell. You blame Biden, blame Kamala, now Trump's ringing the bell. Tariffs on Liberation Day, I ran war, sky high prices. Your lies exposed, no disguises. Zeus sends you to the vices.
MAGA straight to hell.
Triple H annihilate, ring the funeral bell.
MAGA straight to hell.
Ring the funeral bell.
You claim the high road, but walk with the worst. Racism in your veins, misogyny rehearsed. January 6th edition, storming like a mob. Further right, Epstein files, birds of the same flock. Warmonger dreams, bombs dropping on Iran. Gas prices skyrocket, feel the pain in every skin. You scream by Biden's eggs, Kamala's grocery cart. Now under your king, inflation tearing worlds apart. Honest, Zeus here, humble but precise. You flip the script daily, living in denial and vice. Most handsome truth teller, exposing every lie. MAGA man slipping, watch your empire die.
MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell. Send them straight to hell.
MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell. Send them straight to hell.
Yeah, Liberation Day tariffs, you called it victory grand. Now shelves empty, costs rising across the land. Complaints you heard at the left, now triple under Trump. Gas through the roof from the war that you trumped. Hypocrites unified in selective memory, ignore the facts. Bow to your leaders, felony from border rants to endless grieving shows. Zeus annihilates, expose, decompose.
Handsome, honest, humble, the triple threat complete. You MAGA pawns, scatter, defeated in defeat. No redemption, off your path leads below. Straight to hell's gates where the real fires flow.
Every accusation you leveled at the other side bounces back harder. Can't run, can't hide. Racism, misogyny, sedition, endless war. Your dear leader delivers worse than before. Zeus speaks truth, no filter, no fear. Social media's beacon crystal clear. Pack your hypocrisy, your lies, your disdain. The descent begins eternal flame.
MAGA to the
MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell.
Zeus wins, Triple H reigns.
Honest, humble, handsome, forever unchanged. MAGA straight to hell. MAGA straight to hell.
To hell.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me?
To hell.
All right, let's get this show started. All right, can you all hear me out there? Welcome to the show. All right. All right. We're back in the original Thunderdome. Hey, it's incredible. All right, let's get this thing. Let's go. Happy Monday. Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're back.
I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class.
You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game
morning,
so
Rick.
well, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you rich and famous. The algorithm turned me to
Let's
a
go, ladies and
maniac.
gentlemen. I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Am I right? Benjamin and Franklin is my blasty. Happy Mondays
And
and
if they use my ex, that mean they left me. They don't get replies if they text me. I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
All right, here goes. My favorite part right here.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take
Here
off
goes.
in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's
Little
house in
hawk.
a couple of days. That shit was radical.
clean, please.
It
Very
was, it was horrible.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like
See how they
deja
talk
vu.
about you?
It's like
Good
deja
morning,
vu.
Jim. See how they talk
It's
about
like
you?
deja
You're
vu.
supposed to never have anything nice to say.
It's like deja vu.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host, I'm Zeus. Please reveal our community gift. How do I do that? Wait a second. Hold on. Community gift. You can't find it. I don't know what that is. You want to come up here, A6, and explain to me what that is after we do the introduction? That'll be nice, please, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing what I do. But let's get this show started. For those of you, welcome to the show. Once again, we're back. I'm your host. I am your pilot. You know exactly what we do over here on TikTok. This is a show politically charged, and it's specially crafted in order to make sure we do the right thing when we go inside of that voting booth, all right? And a lot of it requires us to combat misinformation and disinformation on a daily basis in order to stop Donald Trump and his legion of supporters who we all know are hell-bent on trying to destroy the United States of America. And we do it one show at a time with shows just like this. Yes. We do appreciate all the support that you can provide. It does help out with the live, and support could be provided in several ways. One, obviously, you know, you can tap the screen and share it out. Make sure you share it out to every single Trump supporter out there you know of who loves to dwell and peddle misinformation. And then all of a sudden, when you spin it back on them, they turn into victims. We don't allow MAGA to be victims on the show, because when you think about what MAGA has done, to the United States of America, it's unforgivable, right? It really should be illegal what these people have done to this country. Another way you can support the show is obviously sending gifts, not just to myself, but to all the incredible panelists, all right? Because I have a very diverse panel, to be honest with you. People listen to this show from all sides of the aisle, and we do have constructive conversations. And you know, I used to have tools, right? I used to have a hammer. I'd send these Trump supporters straight to hell. TikTok said, you can't do that anymore. And then they made me get rid of the lake of fire. It's really unfortunate. But what we're struggling with in the United States of America, and I say this to my international audience, is we have a select group of individuals who refuse to be honest with themselves and with the American people about just how bad things are here in the United States. A lot of Americans, we didn't want to go to war with Iran. Oh no, we wanted Donald Trump, even if I didn't vote for him. When he said things like he was going to cut our utility bills in half, I wanted to see it happen. As much as I dislike Donald Trump, if he would have pulled that off, you know what I would have done? I'd have did like this. The man got to point because he saved me hundreds of dollars. If he would have capped that credit card interest, I would have did like this. Yeah, that man got some point. You know what? Sometimes crime pays. I would have said these things. But all I've been getting is everybody in his orbit seems to be getting rich. And the American people, we just continue to get our behinds kicked every single time. You get paid. When you get your paychecks, you might as well not even get the paycheck. You might as well just send it to Donald Trump with the way things are going in this country. And so we'll talk more about that before I get started. And so what I'll say is this, because there's a couple of things we got to address, especially what happened over the weekend. My goodness. Are there any Trump supporters out there? I got you too, Doug. Are there any Trump supporters out there? Because I want to just give you a heads up. We have to stop the misinformation that's on TikTok. We got to shut it down. And I'll say this, if you can't handle the truth, then you really should think about going into another space on TikTok, another live, all right, where they lie and take your money. But over here, we'll shut it down. We'll shut it down so fast. And in some cases, your feelings might get hurt. And so if you don't want your feelings to get hurt, do us a favor and leave this show. Hey, good morning, Natalie. W's in the chat for Rick, because it's going to get uncomfortable in here. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
That makes me laugh every time.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay, too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they've officially closed. And W's in the chat for VIP and all the other gifters, all right? Because honestly, what you've been doing, it's really gone a long ways to help this show stay on. So we're going to talk about this morning, what am I going to talk about? We're definitely going to talk about Hunter Biden. We might talk about the war that has restarted. We definitely should talk about what Donald Trump did on Meet the Press yesterday. And then we're going to have to talk about this Graham Platner situation in the Democrat Party, because a lot of people, they seem to have they seem to have gotten it twisted in terms of what the Democrats stand for. So W's in the chat for VIP. I think I'm going to start out with our good friend Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, make sure if you know Hunter Biden, tell Hunter Biden he needs to come check in with the kingdom. All right, we need Hunter Biden to actually do more of the things he's been doing, which is holding a mirror up to Donald Trump supporters. He doesn't have to worry about Joe Biden anymore, you know, and the presidency anymore. So this is Hunter Biden Unchained, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to get this on the record so that we all understand that, you know, when they were leveling these accusations against Hunter Biden, it was all just a trick. It was a trick to get Trump voters to spread this nasty stuff about Hunter Biden in order to get votes.
Live over on X like I do. Hunter Biden is taking over X. If you live over on X like I do, you've seen it. President Biden's son, he's out there nonstop defending his dad. There's like these witty, quick comebacks, blasting critics, blunt, explicit, funny. It's something to watch, and Tom Foreman is out front.
I was a degenerate crack addict. I mean, I've heard you call me a crackhead many times, and the truth of the matter is, I was a crackhead.
Whether talking to conservative firebrand Candace Owens about addiction or scorching critics on the role of immigrants.
How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table?
At 56, Hunter Biden, son of former President Joe Biden, is dramatically stepping up his trolling of the MAGA-verse, which has long made him a whipping boy. Among his viral exchanges, resurrecting old Republican claims that he cashed in on his dad's power. Hunter posted, "I averaged about $225,000 per year in income." Then, noting the billions analysts say President Donald Trump's family is pocketing, Biden asked conservatives, "Where is all your outrage now?"
Bingo.
And in another, he wrote, "Do I look like I'm part of the elite oligarch class?" Nope. This was taken at a Super 8 motel off I-95, by the way. He has posted that Iran is the war that nobody wanted. He's ripped that jet Qatar gave to Trump, and he's torn into efforts by the Trump family to shut down IRS audits of their businesses. And he's let fly with savage comebacks. When an online critic said that bag of cocaine found in the White House in 2023 must have been his, Hunter wrote, "It most definitely was not. I would never have forgotten my drugs."
Everything we have to do with look.
So let's just go ahead and give Hunter Biden a round of applause. If you want to get real information about what was happening to Hunter Biden while Joe Biden was the president, I would encourage every single one of you, honestly, W's in the chat for Natalie. Thank you. I would encourage every single one of you to just go listen to Hunter Biden and tell the story for himself. The amount of money that the Trump family has been able to get from the American people through all of these contracts with these federal agencies, while at the same time, Don Jr., Eric Trump, none of them have any experience working with federal agencies before, yet they're getting all these contracts. I am sitting back going, where is the outrage? Where's James Comer? Where are all the Republicans at? How come Joe Biden was never impeached for any of this fraud that he was accused of? How come Hunter Biden was never even found to have committed any kind of illegal actions as a result of this fraud? It's because it was not true. And the American people were gaslit, in particular, Trump supporters were gaslit into believing that it was. So I just want to give him a round of applause. The next thing is, how many of you are following the elections in California? And, you know, here we go again. Donald Trump. And see, I got to be careful because, you know, TikTok, this is for educational purposes only. When Donald Trump struggles in the polls, right? We know the pattern. All of us, you're watching it, Little Hawk. And so what they're seeing happen, which is whether it's the governor's race or the mayor's race, for some strange reason, I don't know where MAGA got this. How many Trump supporters really thought you had a chance of turning California red? I just want to see. Are there any Trump supporters out there that really thought that the folks out here on the West Coast, Jim, is that you? You really thought California was about to turn red? Natalie, listen, you might have some sprinkles of crazy folks out here. Trust me, I know these people. But the majority of folks out here in the California, especially when you get towards the, LA area, the Bay Area, there's zero tolerance for MAGA. There's zero tolerance. And that's why, when you see a person like me speaking to these people on TikTok, in particular, MAGA and Blaga, I speak like a free, I'd hate to say it. Can I say it, Takesha? Can I say it? Lil Hawk, can we say it, Lil Hawk? We speak like we're free. Go ahead. I'll tell you a quick story before we get into Donald Trump and what he did, because on this interview with Kristen Welker, he crashed out, and all of you have seen it, but we haven't watched it together as a family. He was trying to convince her that the results of the election weren't accurate, right? I got to say it that way because it's TikTok. And she basically pressed him on that by asking, and it's a question I've been asking MAGA for a couple of days now. Where's that question at? Where's my question? I have it on the top of my show. You see right there, MAGA, where is the evidence? That's all I want from MAGA at this point. I don't want to hear what you think. I don't care what you've read. Just show us the evidence that Donald Trump is delivering on campaign promises. Everything else is you just blowing smoke up our rear ends. We don't want to hear it anymore. We've been gaslit since this man's second term began. I get it. You can point to all these things in the economy that you say are doing great. That means absolutely nothing. Give me some more fake economic data. It means absolutely nothing when folks' savings accounts are dwindling, when people have to worry about their cars being repossessed. Have you ever seen people who think their car is about to get repossessed? You know the things they go through? Oh my God, they don't even park the car at the house. They hide the car. They kill the battery, so to speak. I mean, they got to do all these things because they don't got enough money. And then you turn on the TV and, whoa, Don Jr. just netted another $2 billion contract. Wow. It seems like everybody in this boardroom is eating except me. That's how Donald Trump is doing the American people. So I say all of that to say, in California, W's in the chat. Thank you so much for listening. In California, MAGA, you never had a chance. You never had a chance. And so I want to make sure we get this on the record. This is what we got to go up against during the midterm. As much as I thought Donald Trump would be trying to do some of the, planting ICE agents at voting booths to try to intimidate voters, I do believe, here we go again, we are going to hear Donald Trump begin beating the drum that, gifting is suspended. I have no clue why gifting is suspended. I don't know what I did. I didn't say anything, TikTok. Come on now. I don't even know what that's about. Anyhow, let's go and watch this exchange that Donald Trump had with a woman reporter. The misinformation here is he's trying to convince Americans that the results of the election in California aren't accurate, which is, to me, complete BS. All right. So, but I must say, if you are interviewing Donald Trump and it does not end like this, then you're not doing a good job. All right. I'm just going to put that out there. If it doesn't end like this, you're not doing a good job. All right. And there you go. I could put other ways to support the platform just like that. All right. So let's watch this together, ladies and gentlemen. This starts out with, I believe, a conversation about the slush fund.
Anti-weaponization fund. It was going to compensate people who say the federal government weaponized the legal system against them. It's been blocked by the courts, met with opposition from Republicans
and Democrats
in Congress and Democrats.
Excuse me, mostly Democrats.
Mostly
some
Democrats and some Republicans.
Some. Very few Republicans.
Just to be very clear, are you backing off the fund completely, as your acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has said, or are you looking for another avenue to revive the fund?
So let me explain what the fund is. People have been hurt so badly by radical left lunatics that worked for the Biden administration and Sleepy Joe. They're vicious, they're violent, what they did to people. And of course, they went after me more than anybody else. They raided Mar-a-Lago and all the other things. But people have been badly hurt. They've committed suicide. They've lost their jobs. They've lost their families. They've lost their wives. They've lost everything. They've lost everything.
As they should.
A fake weaponization of government. Now,
So
let
are
me
you
just tell
looking for a way to revive it?
Well, look, if it was up to me, I'd pay them the kind of money that they deserve.
You hear what he just said? If it was up to him, he would pay them the kind of money that they deserve. See, and I really want Blaga to hear this. That's why when I get out here and I have to have conversations about reparations, I'm sitting here saying to myself, Blaga, do you hear this? He is literally indirectly basically saying, hey, you know those folks who were affiliated with the Triple K on January 6th? I believe they should get as much money as possible for what they did to try to keep me in power. And I honestly think when you look at it from Donald Trump knew what he was doing on January 6th. Why do you think he wanted to pardon him? Think about it, MAGA. Think about it. The whole plan from the very beginning. If he would have been able to pull off what he wanted to pull off, TikTok for educational purposes only, if he would have been able to pull it off, wouldn't he have pardoned those people? Think about it. So this was nothing more than continuing the plan once he got back in office, all right? And that's why he wants to pay him.
Have been destroyed. Lives have been destroyed. Many suicides. Think of it. People have committed suicide because a bunch of thugs went after them. So, me personally, I think the weaponization fund is a great idea. And so do many other Republicans. You have to get it approved. If they get it approved, that's great. If they don't get it approved, I'd be disappointed.
All right, we're going to motor through this.
But you have to understand, people have been destroyed by crooked politicians, and they should be reimbursed for that.
Do you think anyone who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be inclined to say so, but I have to see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, because you had a lot of crooked cops, you had dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well,
a guy like Bolton was a dirty cop.
But there's no evidence.
Wait a minute.
All right, brace yourself. So this is the one statement you have to make to MAGA every time. Just say there's no evidence. For some strange reason, this sends this interview into completely into left field.
Oh, you think Comey was a straight
people
cop?
who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No,
they
but
had
the people who
FBI.
assaulted police
Listen
officers.
to me. They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI go into the building. Those people walking around, they're looking, oh, isn't this nice? They weren't in. They were
There's
being
no
ushered
evidence
into
of
the
that,
building.
sir. There's no evidence.
You had a bunch of dirty cops, and frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000 people.
No, there's none. You know what you do? Try looking at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off the table?
Look at the tapes one time.
But 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police officers.
You know why they pled
Should
guilty?
They be exempt
because they told they were going to jail
funds?
for 15 years if they didn't.
Should they?
They pled guilty because they were frightened. They went down. They were ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even going into the building.
You'd be okay with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops, by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the weaponization fund. I love the idea because people like you, the fake, dirty press, the crooked press, people like stupid Biden, he's not smart enough to know what's going on, but people that surrounded him, surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office, what they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying. But let
There's
me
a lot
ask you
of
about
evidence.
Todd Blanche. Let me ask about
listen
Todd
to me.
Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence.
Uh-oh.
There's nothing
What's
but
evidence again.
The
presented
election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law?
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now
You've
in
never
California.
presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election was
California.
rigged.
Right now, look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in California.
California, no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with it.
That's how they count
You know
the
why
votes
they're doing
in
that? Because
California.
they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
All
that?
I have to do is look. All I have to do is look.
That's not
And I
evidence.
listen. And I listen to people. And let's see what happens.
But, sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think
And
it's appropriate?
That's how they count the votes in
Do you
California.
think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a
State
winner?
and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the
crooked.
votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked. And beat the press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands. then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Oh.
You play right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But, Mr. President,
you know why I
you've
got
never
that?
presented
Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about
elections
you
in
went
this
to
country,
court.
we're like a third world country.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC, and CBS, and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
In the rain.
I've sat
I
in the
traveled
rain with
all.
you.
I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be
We
great
traveled
with a dishonest
Listen,
press.
we
Come on,
traveled
let's go.
all the way to
Let me
Wisconsin.
hold on. Let me get that again. This is a
Than
TikTok
ever
crash out
presented.
right
Let's
here.
talk
Your
about
elections
You
in
went
this
to
country,
court.
we're like a third world country.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
But, Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC, and CBS, and CNN.
But, Mr.
You're
President-
one-sided crooked networks. All right,
Okay.
let's call it quits because I've had enough.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. Have
Thank
a good
you.
time.
Mr. President,
Thank
let's
you, darling.
please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat
I
in the
traveled
rain with
all.
you.
I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be
We
great
traveled
with a
all,
dishonest
listen,
press.
we
Come on,
traveled
let's go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Under normal circumstances, I'd send him somewhere. But again, it's the word evidence right there. You see how I have it right there? MAGA. You have none. And when pressed, I promise you, they will do exactly what Donald Trump does. He has no idea how elections work. All he's concerned about is just winning. And if he doesn't win, then he's going to assume that it's rigged. Isn't it interesting that he didn't have any questions about the result of the 2024 election? Isn't it amazing? See, I can't go into that because you know what they'll do on this app. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're at a point right now, and this is where this show has evolved. If you are talking, and I don't even think this is limited to politics. Whenever you're talking to somebody and they make a statement and then you ask, well, where is the evidence? W's in the chat for Chris. Wow, gifting is back, ladies. And you ask, so where's the evidence? The easiest thing for them to do would be to say, oh, no problem. Look, here you go. Look, here's the evidence. That's how life works. And I'm speaking in particular because, you know, I have to interact with these young and upcoming leaders, college students, and you have to explain to them, like, listen, if a grown person fails to provide you with evidence, you have honestly no choice but to say, there's a good chance that they're trying to manipulate me into believing what they want me to believe, and that you should say, you know what, I'll look into it. Leave it at that, because these Trump people that are still supporting him, they cannot provide you with any evidence to prove that the reality you are living in is going to get any better. They cannot provide you with any evidence to support the claims that they have been making. If you want to go back and look at Donald Trump's appeal not approved. Okay, I guess the gifting, whatever, but we're still good to go. The gifting is still working, it looks like. Ask them. Play the clip where Trump said, within the first year, your utility bills will go down by 50%. Play the clip right there and then ask them. Say, hey, so what happened? They should immediately say, well, that was a lie. W's in the chat for Ange and all the gifters. They should be able to say that. If they cannot say that was a lie, then run for the hills. Avoid those people like the plague. Because if they will lie to you about something that obvious, there's nothing. There's just no telling how much they would lie to you about things you honestly don't know. I've been struggling on this show to get MAGA to at least be honest. But you know what? On Friday, didn't we have a decent conversation with DJ? DJ conceded on a few points. He acknowledged, yeah, gas prices are high. They tried to brag about the job numbers. I said, well, listen, 22,000 jobs less in terms of the financial jobs, right? You don't just need a job, because you make minimum wage or you make maybe 50,000 a year. That's not enough money. So when they start saying we're going to count that as a job, I look at that and I say that's not a way to count a job. A job should be something you take pride in, and it's actually able to uplift you out of your current situation in order for you to actually, make progress in life. And what Donald Trump has done or failed to do was actually help create more of those jobs. Everything he's been doing, and you can go look into it, the only people getting richer are himself. W Zeus. Can't read the chat. Can't show white shirt. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Maybe I'll do this instead. How about that? I got you. Don't worry. We got ways. Now you can see the chat. Some people, I get it. All right. Now let's go and talk about this Graham Platner situation. And I got to talk about it because we have to demonstrate to folks all over the country that we are not a party of cult personality over here on the Democrat side, number one. And number two, people always ask, well, what are the Democrats running on? I say, well, I don't know what the rest of them are, but what I am big on is affordability and accountability. That's why I say, what kind of Democrat are you? Well, I'm a Democrat Rizzler. I'm a Democrat Rizzler. And you know what that means. So who better to bring this to us than our good friend Scott Jennings. All right, and this is the narrative that the Democrats
sat
are
here
dealing
for 10
with.
years and listened to.
This is the narrative that we Democrats need to acknowledge is out there. All right.
Sat here for 10 years and listened to virtually every Democratic pundit call Donald Trump and Republicans Nazis for 10 straight years. They're now lining up behind a guy with a literal Nazi tattoo who literally lied about it, and who, oh, by the way, has apparently got credible abuse allegations from a number of women who have no reason to lie about this and every reason to warn the American people about it. It's pretty disgusting. The Nazi tattoo thing, I'll never get over it. No one should ever get over it, but it ought to tell you where the energy is in the Democratic Party.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? How many of you out there, how many Trump supporters agree with Scott Jennings? Okay, so let me go ahead and get mine, because I like to come prepared. You got to get your notes and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a statement, but you know what? Other people are free to make their statement too. That's what makes this one of the best shows. So let me address the kingdom. As a committed Democrat, I stand firmly for accountability, particularly when it concerns the well-being and recovery of marginalized communities, including Black Americans who have borne disproportionate harms from federal policies and systemic failures. We demand transparency, responsibility, and tangible progress from our leaders. As we advocate for policies that promote affordability, economic justice, and meaningful restitution for those who have suffered losses due to governmental shortcomings, today we must confront this challenging situation in Maine. Graham Platner, the leading candidate for the Democratic nomination for the United States Senate, has faced serious allegations for his past conduct. These include inflammatory online statements, a tattoo with troubling associations, reports of inappropriate communications during his marriage, and accounts from former partners describing unsettling and, in some cases, intimidating behavior. Mr. Platner, these matters cannot be dismissed lightly. While we acknowledge your service as a Marine Corps veteran and your personal struggles with PTSD and related challenges following your military service, accountability requires more than expressions of regret or attributions of a, quote, dark period. We recognize the potential for personal growth and redemption, but in our view, full rehabilitation has not yet been demonstrated. Your path to earning and maintaining the trust of voters, especially those who prioritize justice for marginalized groups, will be monitored closely and with rigor. The burden of proof rests squarely on you, not the voters. It is incumbent upon you to provide consistent, verifiable actions that demonstrate a sustained commitment to ethical conduct, respect for others, and alignment with the values of equity and accountability that should define our party. Any indication that these issues are not being taken with the utmost seriousness, whether through deflection, minimization, or a failure to engage transparently, will only widen the existing gap of trust. We will not pretend that the situation in Maine does not exist. Integrity in leadership is a non-negotiable. Now, to you Trump supporters out there who accuse Democrats of hypocrisy, pointing to conduct the claim mirrors accusations leveled against Donald Trump, such as racist rhetoric or misogynistic behavior towards women, let me offer this clarity. Democrats are not a cult of personality. We do not demand unwavering loyalty to any single individual, regardless of their actions. Just because many Democrats may vote for Graham Platner in the general election does not mean that all Democrats endorse or overlook his past conduct. Our party encompasses a broad range of perspectives, united by shared principles rather than blind allegiance. There is a meaningful distinction between engaging in ongoing toxic behavior without remorse or accountability and actively seeking rehabilitation from one's past mistakes. We expect and will continue to demand growth, transparency, and concrete evidence of change from Mr. Platner. This is the essence of accountability, and it applies consistently, including to our own candidates. Strategic support for Democratic control of the Senate does not equate to absolution. It reflects a pragmatic recognition of national stakes. At the same time, we cannot lose sight of the broader national imperative. Controlling the United States Senate is essential for advancing policies that address affordability, protect civil rights, support economic recovery for underserved communities, and restore faith in our democratic institutions. A Democratic Senate provides the leverage necessary to move this country forward on issues of critical importance, including those affecting Black Americans, Brown Americans, and other marginalized populations who continue to seek redress for historical and ongoing harms. In the Democratic primary, voters face a very difficult choice. For those prioritizing accountability, alternatives such as supporting David Costello or other options on the ballot may serve as principled expressions of concern. Yet, should Mr. Platner secure the nomination, we urge him to rise to this moment and demonstrate through deeds, not just words, that you are committed to the standards we expect from our representatives. Earn the confidence of the skeptics by prioritizing transparency, community engagement, and policies that uplift the most vulnerable. Our support for our Democratic leadership is strategic and values driven, and we will hold candidates like Mr. Platner himself to these same high standards because the high stakes of our nation and its people require us to do so, and we cannot accept anything less. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and say W Zeus. See, I had to say that because I had to really think it out and explain and get it out there. And I said, well, listen, under no certain circumstances am I going to encourage anybody to let the Republicans stay in control of the Senate, because you see what they're going to do, right? But we're at this moment right now, and I said, well, I don't want to give people the impression that I don't see what's happening in Maine. No, we see what's happening, right? We see what's happening. I mean, I got my questions, I got my reservations too, but that's why I said we're going to keep an eye on them, all right? So that's a huge W, Zeus. Yeah. And again, a lot of people, W's in the chat for July love. A lot of people, maybe there's other people out here. I know Ann just from Maine, and she might have a different take on it. But the narrative that if you're a Democrat, you can't be held accountable, that's completely wrong. That's complete BS. All right. And when there are moments like this, I do think it's very important to speak up, use your voice, speak out, and hold these folks accountable. All right. I mean, he might get in, he might not, but if he does get in, it doesn't mean he's just going to be able to put his feet up and cruise through, because we don't want another Fetterman situation, right? We don't want another Fetterman situation. All right. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to where's the time at? Hold on. Okay. Do I want to talk about it or not? Do I want to talk about it? No. Let's go ahead and open up the boxes. Let's go ahead. Send a guest request. You know the rules. Send a guest request, and as long as you're following the rules of the show, we'll try to hear you out. But if you start speaking and spreading misinformation, it'll be a terrible experience for you. It really will. So let's start out with our good friend. Oh, look who we have. Ange. Ange from Maine. Good morning, Ange. How you doing, Ange?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh boy. Zeus. I don't even know where to start. We have a problem up here in Maine. We got a big problem. But I will not compromise my morals for this man. Absolutely the hell not. Sorry. This is so difficult. We do not want Susan Collins. She's been in 27 years. She's a flip-flopper. She's done so much damage. As you all know, that I don't need to tell y'all.
Yeah.
You've seen that nationally. I made a video 7 months ago about this man and how we need to get rid of him. Let me just say, the very first thing that I saw that he said was him blaming women for their own SA. He said, and I'm going to clean it up for you, okay?
Yeah.
Act like an adult for F's sake. People should avoid alcohol so they don't end up in a compromising situation. There's more, but that's the gist of what he said. W Tara, W to everybody.
Now here's the thing though. He apologized. He said he apologized, Ange.
I don't care. He has the Schnazi tattoo, and he said, "How come black people don't tip?"
Oh.
Yep. So there's that.
He claimed he had no idea what the tattoo was about, though, Ange.
For 20 years? 20 years? Really? He didn't know for that long until all of a sudden he was going to run? He didn't know?
She's not lying, ladies and gentlemen. She's not.
No,
lying.
I'm not. And people are calling me MAGA Ange. No, I'm not. I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for Susan Collins. I'm writing in Janet Mills.
W's in the chat for Ange. Yeah, it's a and I'm so glad that you're standing on your morals and standing behind your conviction.
The D-pics, Zeus. I have literally 2 minutes. I got to bring my daughter to finals.
Fair enough.
So, and Jem, if she's in here, she can come out and finish it up for me. She and I had a long conversation. She can promote our Janet Mills for us and give her achievements and everything that she's done for us. Ooh, Janet Mills is on TV right now saying I'm not off the ballot. Anyhow,
yeah.
The D-pics need to be addressed because that's the latest that just came out. We're not talking about that being a long time ago, people. Okay, they got married the end of 2023. These D-pics have been going on, I believe, till this is what he's admitting to, until April, May-ish of 2025. Those words came out of his wife's mouth. Stop saying it's propaganda. Stop saying it's not true. Go do your research. His wife said it. It's out of her freaking mouth. Okay? I cannot compromise my morals for that man. And there is more coming. Shut up, that person down there. I'm not even going to look anymore.
Who?
Freaking Angus. He's an
Angus,
or whatever.
Angus, stop it. You've been doing
Seriously.
so much harm on this app, Angus, in the comments section. Stop it. We're trying to at least save this country while you're sitting around here trolling people. This is a serious
Very.
issue. I wouldn't vote for him, to be honest with you.
I can't, Zeus. I can't bring myself to vote for a man who blames women for their own SA. He turns around and every quote unquote mistake he's made, he blames it on being drunk, okay? But then turns around and says that the women shouldn't get drunk so that they don't get SA'd. Go look it up, guys. That's what he said. I may be paraphrasing, but that's what he said. So he can get drunk, right? And make mistakes. But if the women do, it's all
That's
their
bad
fault.
behavior. That's bad
Lovely, lovely freaking double standard, right? The way it always is. Always. But I got to go. My daughter has finals, which is like probably crazy important.
Fair enough.
But Jem knows as much, if not more, than I do. So I'm going to let Jem take it over from here. Thank you, Jem.
W's in the chat. And when you said that he had the tattoo and the racism and all that stuff, I believe personally, I don't know how he's gotten this far. I really don't.
I don't. Since I've been from the rooftops for 7 months. 7 months. And even then it was kind of difficult because you don't want to discourage people from what we need. We need this seat. We all know this.
Well, that's the thing. Do we give it up to see? I mean, maybe you can answer it later, but there's two things at play here. One is your morals, and then the other thing is the national situation as well. And I don't have the answers for everybody.
I kind of don't. We have to vote tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow. And I just.
If I had to vote,
can't.
Ange, I would do like this. Go in there, do like this, close your door, blindfold yourself, and then tell someone.
No.
If you
don't
have to do
say
it.
that. No, you have a choice. Janet Mills is not off the ballot.
You're going to get in trouble.
Janet Mills is not off the ballot. She is still on the ballot in Maine. And in Maine, even if the primary is completed, with all of this bad press and how bad he is doing with women in particular, they have until July 11th to replace him. So stop doing the plug the nose shit, guys. We've got to go in this
Jim is right.
thinking.
She's right. But now, Jim.
Sorry guys, can I just interrupt for 1 second and then I'm going to go. I'm sorry, Jim. I'm sorry, Zeus. The other thing he's doing up here, he's really appealing to MAGA. He's going to their spaces up north. Down south here, we don't want that. He's trying to appeal to MAGA. He's having interviews, sit-down interviews with MAGA and said, "Oh, I had a lot more in common with them than I thought." On that, I truly have to go.
Okay, but honestly, can you answer this one question before you go?
Yeah.
How the heck did he get so high in the poll numbers out there? I mean, it to me speaks to the electorate, right? This is why I'm kind of confirmed. I mean, because he's a reflection, in my opinion, of the people in Maine. I know you're a great person, but I'm sitting here scratching my head going, and then he's parading around with Bernie Sanders. I'm going, whoa.
Bernie Sanders can F off. Elizabeth Warren can F off. There are a few other names. I'll just leave it at that.
Fair enough.
And the misogyny, if you still, and you know, I loved Bernie Sanders. I never thought I'd say these words. He's ruined his legacy and he can go straight to, you know, where you can't say it on here and I won't either. So, but that's about it. Now I have to really run.
Okay.
Jem, I'm going to let her take it from here. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Ange, for bringing that up. So, Jim, you're back, and thank you for coming up. You see how I tried to at least, try to give some people an outlet. You said no to the plugging of the nose. This is 100,000% no, even for you. This is unfortunate, but I agree.
So this is the problem. This is the problem when we follow trends and we don't research. This is what happens, and this is the problem with throwing around the word progressive. The most progressive thing to do in this situation is to vote for Janet Mills. The most progressive thing to do is stand up for the people of Maine. You know who stood up for the people of Maine? Janet Mills. You know Janet Mills. You know who the first female governor in Maine is? Janet Mills. Do you know Janet Mills has not only been elected, but reelected and reelected and reelected to every position she has ever run for with the majority vote? You don't have to believe me. Research it yourself. I'm clear on the other coast and was able to look information pertaining to her incredible career and the public service that she has given to the people of Maine. This is our opportunity for every single American citizen to recognize the importance of this position. This is not just about Maine. This is about a federal seat, U.S. Senate. And you've got a man calling himself a progressive. By what metric? What legislation has Graham Platner ever written? 0. What public service office has he ever held? None. How in the hell did he get put into a position to run for U.S. Senator of Maine with no public service record, no civil servant record, nothing? This is what I'm talking about. We the people, for the people, that's us.
Amen.
Stop listening to Bernie Sanders, which I have taken issue with Bernie Sanders for years and been attacked left and right, literally left and right on this app, talking to you guys about the BS that Bernie Sanders puts out. You're not a progressive when you literally do the status quo of voting for a racist, misogynist white male. I'll say it. That's how we're here.
W's in the chat.
You've got Janet Mills.
You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. That's MAGA to the core.
You've got Janet Mills, and you've got. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. There's a delay.
So one person in the chat, Jim, said you should vote for Platner now to get him in, and then impeach him once he gets in. Could you elaborate on why that's not necessarily a good idea?
What did they say you should vote for?
Platner, and then try to get him removed from his position once he's in there. But they're basically trying to say we have to. I don't believe it, but because I do believe that the people in Maine they should wake up, right? Hopefully, and vote for a better candidate. But they're saying get him in now, and then you'll deal with him later. In terms of holding him accountable. What say ye to that?
Why would you vote for a person when you have a actual person available to step into the role with the experience to do so? That's my answer.
There you go.
Where did our ability to think? Janet Mills is the current governor who is on the ballot. So make sure that when you go into this, you don't go in following the other herd because they told you that. There's nothing in his record that gives you any standard of progressive. There's nothing in his record that gives you experience. There's nothing in his record that gives you education. He is a former Marine who only served 8 years. He claims that he got the horrific tattoo, which, by the way, whoever said he's not racist, yes, he is. He is racist. He's been racist in life. In the press, on Reddit, do your research.
Yeah.
Do your research. Stop following the sheep that they want to just give him a pass now because he apologized. Let's talk about the apology thing, shall we? In politics,
lay into him.
So if I go and I set a fire, right, and it starts burning down land and starts burning down property, but I'm a fireman and I go put it out now because I'm sorry that I started it.
Yeah.
Am I a hero or am I an arsonist? You're an arsonist.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you burn stuff down, you don't get to apologize for it and then go, by all means, let me clean it up now. No, There's a pattern of behavior here. He claimed I was 22. I didn't know what I was doing. Peer pressure. That's what he claimed when he got the tattoo, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
I
know
don't
what
buy
it meant.
that.
I was 22. Peer pressure. He wore it on his body for over 20 years. Then when it got called out, and only when it got called out, did he say, I'll cover it. Because now he doesn't have an out. It's been called out, right?
Yep.
So he covers it and he's like showing it on TV going, look what a good boy I am. Peer pressure again. I covered it because you told me it was bad. I did bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he covered it when the pressure was on. Now you've got him saying, oh yeah, I'm not a good boy. I've done some bad things. That sounds very familiar. Who said that just a couple months ago? Oh, that'd be Tony Gonzalez, whose mistress unalived herself because he was literally harming her and her family.
So we all agree
So
he knew what he was doing. We all agree Platner knew what he was doing getting the tattoo. He knew what he was doing when he was leaving those inappropriate comments online and making those inappropriate statements. And so we all understand that this is political. He's trying to clean up his image in order to get this position. Is that what you're basically saying? And that we should
Exactly.
All right.
He'll tell you whatever you want to hear to step into the role. So why would we vote for somebody who knew all of that? And then we're not talking 22. He was 40 when he was sending these messages to women. He was 40 when he was on Kick. He was 40 when he was sending penis pictures. So he was a married man. So no peer pressure. Nope, not 20 years ago. This was a year ago. He's only been married for 18 months, you guys. 18 months,
Okay,
and he's already
can I ask
stepping
this,
out.
though, Jim, have you heard some of the remarks from his wife, though? And
yes.
What does that say about the situation as well, from your perspective? Because I haven't.
Have you seen her face when she's in pictures? Have you seen her?
I have.
I've never seen a more miserable human being. She looks like she can't wait for this to end. She wants out. And I'm telling you that just because your wife is now trying to stand up for you doesn't mean she really believes that. She's trying to save face. She's like, I stuck it out with this person. I've been only married 18 months. You know, I took a vow. Like, you know what, ladies, we don't have to stick it out anymore. We can leave marriages that are filled with abuse and adultery and abandonment. We can leave those marriages for a reason. I suggest that when you are in those positions, that you are being harmed emotionally. I mean, this is on a national stage that this woman has been absolutely denigrated by this person. And on top of it, he put her business out there about infertility. He put her business out there that they are having infertility problems. Okay.
Wow.
So then he proceeds to say, you know what? It's really expensive in the United States, Zeus, to have infertility issues. So we're going to go to Norway. We're going to go all the way to Norway so we can have artificial insemination. He put this is his own words. It's so expensive to get artificial insemination in this country. So we're going to go to Norway. Can you think of a wider country to pick for artificial insemination? Because I found that really odd that it was so specific that he identified Norway. He didn't say we're going to go out of the country to check out our options. Nothing. So not only is he saying the United States is too expensive, he's saying, but me, a white male with my white wife, we're afforded the opportunity to go to Norway specifically. Not Brazil, not Mexico, not South America, where you typically would align a more intensive medical treatment. Oh, it's Norway specifically. And you don't have to believe me again. Google it. Came out of his own mouth.
Wow.
And then this is me about we sheepishly follow and we don't bother to research for ourselves who these people are and what they represent. And again, if you read his history, right, when he talks about being progressive, by what metric? He talks about labor unions. We've already established that in the Democrat Party. We've already established that in the Democratic Party. When he talks about healthcare, I'm sorry, I'd like to remind everybody that Barack Obama did the ACA Act, and that's what's under attack. That's literally throwing people off of Affordable Care Act. If you want to better it from within, but you don't tear it down and then come in and say, only I only I can come up with a better idea. We've already been down that route. What's his name? He's an orange guy in office. What's his name?
The
Trump.
orange Cheeto guy, the guy, yeah. The one that crashed out yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow. W's in the chat for Jim. I mean, basically what you're saying, and from what I understand, because I don't personally live in Maine, Jim, but this situation is, he seems like he's a MAGA. Some people say, he could be MAGA. He might be put up in there as a plant, perhaps, Kevin Fetterman, who said that. And you don't need to fall for it. Don't fall for it. There you go.
So here's the thing. I'm glad you mentioned the MAGA. So then you have progressives on TikTok right now, big name progressives that are going, I'm not going to talk about Graham Platner. I'm only going to address the fact that Susan Collins is a home-wrecking hoe. This is what progressives are doing. They're going and attacking Susan Collins, calling her a home-wrecking hoe. They're saying she had an affair with her husband when he was still married to his first wife who had cancer, and he left her. So let me get this straight. Now we're going to attack the woman who had the affair and married her person, but we're not going to attack Paxton. We're not going to attack Hegseth. We're not going to attack Trump. We're not going to attack any of the other people who are in this Republican side of things. We're going to bring up Susan Collins. How progressive are you to attack the woman that you want to say had an affair, but not talk about Graham Platner because you're calling yourself a progressive? And let me remind people again, there is no progressive party. There's the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And if you don't understand that, there's where the party stops, because that's the problem I have with progressives, and I get dinged all the time on this app. There's a two-party system. And even if you are talking about Bernie Sanders, let me remind you that when he runs for office, he runs and he caucuses with the Democratic Party, not the Republicans and not independents, because there is no independent party. It is Democrats and it is Republicans. And until we, the people, understand that all of it is a subcategory. Okay, King, again, progressive is the way you wrote. Progressive is in what party? What party, Zeus? What is the progressives in?
The Democrat.
The Democratic Party. But let's talk about it for a minute. There's a negative connotation to progressive party also, isn't there? That would be the MAGA movement. The MAGA movement is far from the GOP. Yeah. They've progressed into what? The MAGA party. So, pick your battles, people. Either comprehend where it's at or where it isn't, but it's only a two-party system.
Bingo.
Progress is about the betterment of society. And the Democratic Party is the only party that has given you civil rights, human rights, women's rights, educational rights, labor unions, health care. I mean, I could go on.
Yeah.
The Republicans don't have any of that under their belt.
No.
So make it make sense. You either want a progressive party in the country forward, or you want to regress it back to 1950. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going back. Are you?
Absolutely not. Jim. They know you're right. I'm going to say this, Jim, about the Platner thing. I'm so glad that I am not in Maine. Because I would tell you, I'm going to say this. You folks in Maine need to get it together. You need to get it together. I'm looking at it, 90% white population, 90% of them. So from my perspective, it says a lot. It really does. And so I hope the people of Maine do the right thing and put a quality candidate in office. All right. I really do. But in the event that does not happen, Mr. Platner, I want you to know I will be keeping all my eyes, ears, nose, everything. I'm going to use all five senses to monitor your conduct. And the moment I'm just saying, in the event he makes it, right? And in the event that you make it, I'm going to be on you like white on rice. All right. It's too late. Look at you, alter ego. Listen, it's out of my hands. It really is. And it's a two-part, to me, it's two issues. One, obviously, he's a political, he's a figure, he's a leader, so to speak, that I have a lot of concerns about. But I also believe that assuming there was no funny business in the whole election process in Maine, and this is actually a reflection of the people in Maine, we have another issue to talk about. That's how I see it, Jim.
True that.
Right?
True that. I have two other things I wanted to address to you today. First of all, as Californians, you and I just want to tell you how proud I am to be a Californian today. Not only did we get Javier Becerra as the front runner, but we also got not one, but two BIPOC women running for mayor of Los Angeles. Can we get a win for California?
Did you see these Trump supporters, Jim?
And I personally want to extend an offer to Spencer Pratt that I will happily help him pack and move.
Oh, Jim, I
will drive to LA. I will throw all his boxes in that ugly little pill that he claims that he never lived in but lived in. By the way, where is Heidi Montag? Where's his wife? Because nobody's seen her. She's been missing in action for months. Where are his kids?
Yeah.
Where are they living?
Where are they?
I'm just curious.
They don't want to be
are
around
they hidden
loser.
in that?
I wouldn't want to be around a loser like that, to be honest with you.
I also want, and I hope that the powers that be here in California are prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law the 10 people who have already been caught trying to come in from other states to vote in our election. 10 of them actually tried to pull that off. So let's hope that California does not let this go and that they prosecute to the fullest extent of the law.
Amen.
And then before I leave, I don't want us to also overlook what's happening in Texas. We've got another huge race in Texas for another Senate race. That's James Tallarico. Make sure that we are supporting the general election. You have a great candidate in Texas. James Tallarico is where it's at. Let's take Texas and turn it blue with not only James Tallarico, but we're not talking enough about Gina Hinojosa running for governor of Texas. Gina Hinojosa for governor of Texas.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
It would be a lot easier to get things done in America if we could just get these MAGA Republicans out of the way and allow Democrats who are serious about, really uplifting people in this country to run. All right. Thank you, Jim.
When you get a chance, can you do me a favor
What's
and talk sometime this week about what's happening in our ocean too, that the Trump administration is removing our research pods, our data center pods that are in the ocean in both the Atlantic and the Pacific that are doing the research. The Trump administration is removing them. And it is literally going to impact the ocean life. It will take away our ability to detect volcanic activity, the heating of the oceans.
Wow.
It's going to impact the coral reefs. It's going to impact earthquake seismic activity. This is a huge deal for all of us. And I think it would be a great story for you to talk about at some point.
Fair enough.
If I could just have you do that. You have such a great platform. You have such great followers. I really want them to know what's happening. You guys can Google it yourself, but I would love to have Zeus talk about this. This is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
And it's something that we should not be okay with. And push back. This is not law. This is another executive order to steal money from the American people. And this puts us all at risk with the oceans heating up. It impacts us.
Yes.
It will affect weather. It will affect current. It will affect everything. And if we do not have these data recorders in the ocean, they're down at levels of 9,700 feet.
Wow.
They detect all kinds of seismic activity. So people, please do your research and know that this administration is literally robbing us blind. Our food system is already under attack by a screwworm now.
I heard.
A screwworm that's
Texas.
attacking cattle in Texas.
It starts always in the red states, it seems, right? It starts and then the rest of the country has to deal with it. And this is what happens when you don't prioritize science the way that you should in this country. And a lot of people, Jim, especially MAGA, they have no clue the connection between science and their health. They really don't. And now look at what's going on. So we'll you know
Correction.
what?
When you stop funding research, people start getting sick and people start unaliving,
Thank
and that's
you.
the problem with what we're watching.
Thank you. All right, Jim.
Thank you. Have a great day, my friend.
All right, you two, ladies and gentlemen, show Jim some love. All right, she came up here, her and Ange, and we addressed the Platner thing on the show. So don't think it'll be it won't be an easy conversation to have, because we all feel the same way in one way or another. All right, so show Jim some love again. All right.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Have a
right.
great day, everybody.
You too. You too. Oh my gosh! Wow, isn't that amazing and incredible? Yeah. All I can say is, because the situation in Maine, I got some questions. I might need to do a trip to Maine and ask these folks there, what are you thinking? What are you really thinking? Like, did you not see these signs? I don't know what's happening. I know my friend Ange is there. So, but at the end of the day, you go, this many people voted for that. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to keep my eyes on Platner. And thank you, Jim and Ange, for clearing that up. Yeah, you really got to vote your conscience, honestly, seriously. Oh, look at this. This guy's been waiting all show. Yes. Is this a serious conversation?
With me, it always is.
All right. What do you got real quick?
Well, one, I just requested up. I haven't been here all day.
Oh, okay. That's a lie. Come on now, Popcorn. You've been there the whole show. That was the first lie, bro. I can't have misinformation. You got to be honest, Popcorn. I'm sorry. As soon as the show started, ladies and gentlemen, he was the first one in there. And I've seen him sitting there, and I said, okay, maybe I'll say something and he'll get the answer he's been looking for. And guess what? He didn't drop. So he's just heard this is what I'm saying. Why can't MAGA simply be honest? I mean, seriously, what is the answer? Type it in the comment section, Popcorn. Type it in the comment section. Somebody in here will answer it. Somebody in here will answer it, all right? Because I can't believe it. Nutty, good morning. How are you?
Yes, good morning, sir. How's it going in the great state of California?
Uh-huh. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
I am excited that Spencer is gone. Good riddance to Spencer.
There you go.
A couple things, and then I got to get out of here.
Okay.
So I want to go back to Trump. Why is it that people, and I'm specifically talking to MAGA, why is it that people will not call out that behavior? The way he dehumanized women, especially women of color, and they don't speak out against it. The fact that I'm pretty pissed off at her, because I wish she would have gone a little bit a lot harder on him.
Right.
Because I don't know. I got to give her some credit, though. I don't care what your title is. You're not going to sit there and call me stupid without me saying my feelings that I can't say on TikTok. I don't care what your title is.
Right.
So if you're not going to respect me, I'm not going to respect you. These reporters, they have to give up their jobs, whatever, because I know they'll be fired. But this behavior has to stop. That is someone's mother. That is someone's daughter. That is someone's auntie. And if anyone spoke to a female in my family in that manner, they make her. I don't care what your title is. But moving on to Graham.
Can you hear me?
Maine,
can you hear me?
You know what to do. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, all right.
There's a delay from the video from your voice, but I can hear you just fine.
Got it.
So, but anyway, Maine, you know what to do. The difference between us and them is that we will always hold people to account, no matter who you are and no matter what you're running for. And if that means Susan Collins has to be back in office, then so be it. Now, here's the fortunate thing. Janet Mills is a proven leader. You do have an option, Maine. You have an option. If you didn't have an option other than him, then by all means, put Susan back in there. Because we can say about Susan Collins that we know of, she's not a racist. She's not a schnazi. So if the meanest thing that we can say about Susan Collins is that she's a flip-flopper,
right,
then I'd rather have a flip-flopper any day of the week instead of a schmatzy. So Graham needs to go. And I found it funny because you and Jim were talking about, MAGA planning him there. Well, his name is Platner. It's in his name. So you ain't gonna tell me that somebody goes and gets a tattoo and doesn't know what it means. The devil is a lie. You know exactly what ink you're putting on your body. And I'm not giving you a pass for that. You don't get a pass for that. I don't care if you are trying to run as a progressive. You get no pass for being a racist POS. You don't get a pass. I don't care what military you served in. You don't get a pass. So he needs to go have many seats. Maine, you know what to do. Do not vote for this man. Not one vote. Put all your votes to Janet Mills for governor.
Amen.
As always, do good, seek justice, Nutty out.
Amen. I think my sound is back. Nutty, you can hear me. Can you all hear me out there? The whole time I'm sitting there trying to talk, I'm like, can you all hear me? All right, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in the Thunderdome. All the spark, all the truth is flying. All right, all of you deserve a huge round of applause. Thank you. All right. Oh, Nutty, you didn't mention anything about the campaign. Remember, you were supposed to say something about that, Nutty. I didn't think I heard. Did you say anything about it? Do you want to come up here and say anything about your campaign? All right, because we got to get the truth out there. All right, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, let's get that out there about the campaign real quick, if you don't mind.
Well, thank you for the space. Thank you for the space, Zeus. But yes, as you all know, I'm running for office again. As always, we don't take any PAC money. We don't take any outside influence. We don't take anything. So our campaign is 100% fueled by the people. We are fueled by the people. So if you all see fit, please go to the link in my bio, donate to the campaign, because we are going to flip this seat. I'm running. So there are 2 red seats in this county. I'm running for one of the 2. And I have recruited somebody else to run for the other seat, and he's doing well as well. So we're really trying to flip these 2 red seats in this county because they're coming after our county. Jackson County, Missouri, just a quick reference. Jackson County, Missouri is the largest county in the state of Missouri. So St. Louis is right behind Jackson County. Jackson County houses Kansas City. All right. And Jeff City, supermajority Republican, they want to take the county government because Jeff City wants to take over Jackson County. We're not going to let that happen. So if you all see fit, we will be doing something on TikTok. That I'm talking to my brother Zeus about. So once that gets organized, we will get it out there to the people. But as always, y'all, support local candidates.
Amen.
Because this is the government that affects you literally every single day of the week.
Amen.
This is the government that affects you. Thank you for the time again,
No
Zeus.
problem, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, in short words, when you see Nutty, hit that Cash App, all right? And that's something my good friend Kiki, she started that trend, hitting the Cash App. The way she said that, I said, oh my God, I got to use it. I need to make a song with you, Takesha. Come on. Where's Takesha at? Good morning, Takesha. Welcome. Hi, Jess. I see you. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Takesha herself is here. Hit that Cash App. Because you know she doesn't play any games about it. I just had to say that. It's so fun to say it when you're here. But what was it, Takesha? No, but it's a good line, though, Takesha. Listen, I've heard a lot of good lines in my life. And, I listen to all kinds of things, right? Things probably, we get in trouble for listening to. But when you said hit that Cash App, I was a little like, oh, what that mean? But then when I saw what it did, when it did in the streets, you know what I'm saying? What it does in the streets to MAGA, I said, oh, that actually is pretty clever. W's in the chat.
But you got to say hit that Venmo and PayPal as well. Dude.
Okay.
I got 3 you can hit. Just hit either one of them.
Okay. Thank you for that feedback because I needed that. W's in the chat for Takesha. I'll keep that in mind. So you don't just limit it to one.
Oh, no, I got 3 ways. 3 ways. But listen, Zeus, stop being so silly. Listen.
Right, that's funny to me. That's
Stop that,
really
Zeus.
funny to me. Huh?
Stop it, Zeus.
No, it's
MAGA about
funny.
to
I
blow
think
their
about it
top.
when I'm on a walk sometimes. I'll be sitting there saying that. And actually, I got in an argument with somebody. I said, "Are you trying to hit that Cash App?" "Oh, what is that?" I said, "Well, are you trying to actually, send me to the next level?" "Oh, no, I don't want to do that." I said, "Well, then I don't got nothing to say." And it ends a lot of conversations right there. A lot of disputes end when you say, "Hit that Cash App." W's in the chat for Takesha. All right. Seriously.
You so crazy.
No,
Listen,
do it though.
Zeus,
Do it though.
I don't want to take up a lot of time, so stop it. Listen, y'all. Let's not compromise our morals because we need a seat. Yes, we need that seat, but we don't. Compromising your morals is why Donald Trump is in now.
Bingo.
Overlooking what somebody did just because you want a seat is why Donald Trump is in there right now. That's just like saying, I know this man physically abused every wife he had, but I need a car and he can buy me one. So I'm going to overlook the fact that I'm going to get beat because I need a car. Don't do that.
W's in the chat for Takesha. I mean, I love how you just brought that back full circle. Because
don't do that.
Here's what a lot of people are dealing with, Takesha. Here's what they're doing. We don't want to be accused of doing the protest vote. Remember? Because there's two sides to this. So how do you split that hair, so to speak? Right? You don't want to be accused of being a protest voter and then surrendering the seat perhaps to MAGA, but then at the end of the day, you don't want to vote for a person you feel is truly an immoral creature. Huh.
It's all in how you lay down at night. If you can lay down at night in peace and know that you supported somebody you know ain't right, then do what you gotta do. But if you value your morals and if you value how you cannot do is criticize the other side for doing what you yourself is gonna do.
Woo!
Bottom line.
You're right. You're right.
You can't never say anything else about who they support if you closing your eyes and supporting somebody that just like the person they support.
In other words, right, I'm going to be a protest voter before I'm a Trump supporter.
Absolutely.
All right. I mean,
absolutely. Well, Zeus, let me say.
Wow. It is what it is then. Yeah.
It is what it is. You can't be a hypocrite and still say you got morals. You just can't.
Wow.
There's no way you can do that.
Wow. This is terrible.
I couldn't be a journalist, Zeus. I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because when he said either you're crooked or a stupid person.
Yeah.
I would have said your mammy was stupid for pushing. And I wouldn't have had no job. But at some point, they got to stop letting him call them STUPID. That is one of the most degrading things you can say to any human being when you're stupid yourself. Still calling Joe Biden Sleepy Joe, and you over here like you done hit about 10 kegs of gin and falling asleep everywhere you go. Makes absolutely no sense. But until he's confronted with what he says about people, he'll still think he's in the right standing. He makes me utterly sick to my stomach. I have to pray hard and ask the Lord not to let me get to the point where I hate this man, Zeus.
Really?
But I'm so close. I'm an inch from hating this man. And I don't hate nobody. I am an inch from hating this disrespectful, low down man.
How many of y'all could relate to what Takesha is saying? How many of y'all have already crossed that line already? Because Takesha has been a praying sister since I've known her. I've known Takesha for years. I've never heard her say stuff like this. Wow. W to the chat. Wow.
It's sad, Zeus. Now listen, for a country to be begging you for a deal and they over here bombing Israel, them folks ain't begging you for nothing. MAGA keep talking about he playing chess and he ain't even got a piece of the chessboard to be playing chess. You over here on True Social begging these folks to stop, but you supposed to be the man with the master plan. You 2 years ahead, they say. That's what MAGA said. Trump 2 years ahead, but you can't even. You over here begging these folks to stop, but you supposed to be the man with the master plan. You the art of the deal. No, you the art of the steal. Cause you're just robbing you at the United States blind. While MAGA sit up and open their purses and turn their head while you go and they wallet. And when they get to the store, they ain't got a dime to pay for nothing they buy.
Wow, W's in the chat.
Baby police.
W's in the terror. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow.
I'm done, Zeus. I'm just in a state of shock.
Yeah.
And what's going on.
Yeah.
But you know what, Zeus?
What's that?
The Bible speaks of these things. We ain't got nobody in office but little Nebuchadnezzar. Go read about Nebuchadnezzar and see, don't you see Donald Trump in Nebuchadnezzar?
Wow.
Y'all better wake up.
Speak on it. W's in the chat for my sister.
I'm going to go, Zeus, because other people need to come up.
Okay.
I just had to come up and say that. Just the man just so disrespectful and hateful.
Yeah.
He just piss poor pitiful.
Thank you. Right. W's in the chat for Takesha. No lies detected. All right. I want to say, listen, we got somebody been hitting this Cash App. I got to say it. July Love, thank you. Poetivity, thank you. Go Zeus, yeah, I love it. Good morning, have a great show. Yeah, and Lisa, thank you. All right, you all don't have to, but you do. I appreciate it. All right, seriously. Let's go back to the box. All right, we have a lot of great people who want to come up here. Hopefully we get to talk to all of them. I see you, Kabira. Let's go. Good morning, Jess. Are you there, Jess? Are you?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, sis.
So yeah, lots of stuff happening. Oh my goodness.
I've been seeing you on your X account, Jess. I wanted you to know, you've been battling a lot of not just MAGA.
It's really unfortunate because the progressives out here, we are infighting so bad out here in California.
Yeah.
And I understand people's reservations on corporations donating to PACs that support Javier Becerra. But what I have to say to that is people are donating on his word. Or I mean, they're voting for him on his word, on his record, what he can do for Californians, and obviously his experience.
Yes.
And not to mention, like, oh, well, they're calling him Chevron Becerra because there was a $500,000 donation to an independent expenditure. And to that I say, Grist magazine dubbed him the planet's lawyer. He stopped Trump's coal leasing program. He stopped offshore drilling. He has done so much to help climate change. He actually saved the Endangered Species Wildlife Act that Trump was trying to get rid of. Okay. And he is a progressive, you know, and I understand people are craving change, but in my personal opinion, Tom Steyer was not the change that California needs. He's invested in private healthcare, but he talks about getting single payer. How does that work? And then he's invested in AI, but he wants to talk about how he's so against AI, right? And then on top of it, he's involved in Emerald AI, which is a green platform that wants to like get new grids in California and stuff. That's fine. Green energy is phenomenal, but you're here running for governor, ready to profit off of that. Ready to get a new fortune. And when people say, oh, well, he signed the Giving Pledge. Since he signed the Giving Pledge, he's gotten over $1 billion richer. Miss me with that. You know who else signed the Giving Pledge?
Who?
Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Well, so miss me with that.
Miss us with that. W's in the chat for Jess. This is why I said it's an amazing... Today's show is, it seems we have some house cleaning to do in the Democrat Party, and it is what it is, right? I mean, no one is above reproach on this show.
No, and like that's the thing too is we were going to allow this man, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
He ran for Iowa, lost. He ran for governor, right? And then he ran for president and lost.
I remember that.
Now he's running for governor again and he lost. Listen, he spent over $500 million across these vanity campaigns. He's also been a major donor to the Democratic Party. So a lot of these people that talk about getting money out of politics that wanted to vote for him, you voted for the dark money in politics. He is the dark money in politics.
Tell him, Jess.
Right?
Yeah.
And not to mention, he made his billions off of unaliving koalas. He unalived a whole koala habitat in Australia for his open cut coal mine. And yeah, sure, he may have divested, but he still gets legacy profits because he's still with Farallon. And those coal mines are still running today as we speak now.
Wow. W's in the chat for Jess.
People in Whitehaven and Mauls Creek, they are actually still protesting the open cut coal mines because they are causing explosions, like expanding their mine near schools. And then we also have his investments in ICE detention facilities. Now, he may have divested from that. He's not getting legacy profits from that like he is the coal, right?
Right.
But the thing is, he invested not once, not twice, but 3 times in ICE detention facilities after reports of abuse. Teenagers being abused and hogtied. And he still said, you know what? That's lucrative. Let me get my money.
That's a MAGA demon, in my opinion. There's a lot of people portraying themselves to be Democrats that I just, my hairs stand up. Platner, he's one, but my hair starts to stand up and I go, I'm just getting this vibe. There's a demon inside.
It's so bad. And then he also, he has invested in Trump casinos. He invested in Trump.
You shouldn't have said that, Jess. You just shouldn't have said that. You just confirmed what I already thought. W's in the chat for Jess. Nope. I don't need any more evidence now. I'm going to stick with my hunch, my suspicion. If the hairs on your arms start to stand up when you're looking at the candidate, I'm talking to the Democrats out there, then that's something you should look into. It could be a demon underneath that candidate. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what got me the most is, like, I already wasn't going to vote for him because of the ICE detention facilities and the coal mines.
Right.
Because the way I see it, the damage is done. The damage in Indonesia, China, Australia, all these places where he has coal mines, the pollution and his footprint is still going to be there even for decades. The way I see it, and people get mad at me when I say this, as good as he is now, he should be making a living amends. You should be helping the Democrats. You should be helping climate change because of the harm and damage you have caused.
Amen.
You are a billionaire who caused these problems, and now you're running on fixing them?
Don't work like that.
Because you had a change of heart when it was convenient for you? The only reason he started to distance himself from coal mines and started going into climate change is because of what a bunch of white college students started protesting him, and Stanford University wanted to distance himself from them and was losing money. So he got a little change of heart because these white kids were yelling at him.
Oh, what a shame. I learned something.
And can I also add?
Yes.
The Jerusalem cross that he draws on his hand to remind himself to tell the truth. You know who else has a Jerusalem cross?
Don't say it.
Except it's tattooed on his chest loudly and proudly?
Don't say it.
Pete Hegseth. The Jerusalem cross is a neo-Nazi tattoo. And let me just say, when he was told that it was a neo-Yahtzee symbol,
What'd he say?
He said he just does it to remind himself to tell the truth, and that it's about his faith. It's about his beliefs, Zeus. It's not that. Ignore that. Not that.
Where do they engineer these responses at? When, because it's all about accountability. And I've heard, when people come up with crazy answers like that, you just know they're absolutely up to no good.
Yeah,
you need that much effort to tell the truth. Seriously? You need that much effort to be honest?
It's so hard. You have to have a symbol like that to remind yourself to tell the truth, and you're still lying about your offshore bank accounts in the Cayman Islands. Get out of town.
Yeah. W's in the chat for my sister Jess, all right?
And him attacking Becerra over the single-payer issue, anyone doing that, ask yourself, will Donald Trump grant the federal waivers needed for California?
For who? For who?
For Californians.
I don't
to get single payer health care. You think Donald Trump will grant the federal waivers that we need?
Absolutely not.
No, exactly.
You see what he's doing in New York right now? Wow. All right.
No, he hates everything Mamdani is doing. He hates the taxes that he's getting put in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we're already losing, what is it? Nearly a billion, or was it more in healthcare out here?
Well, wow. More.
That they're withholding from us federally.
Billions. The billions of dollars that J.D. Vance announced that he was withholding. Yeah, because of the alleged fraud, so to speak. Yeah, this administration will not do anything to help Americans, especially Americans in blue states. So yes, Jess, thank you for pointing that out.
Yes. And can I also add, with that, like, where was I going with this? I had a brain fart. Let me pivot real quick, because this is also has to do with Maine. I had like my little notes here, that bullet points I wanted to like get out real quick.
Yeah.
I'm very sad for my people in Maine, but like Ange and other people have said, like, she's on the ballot now, right?
Yeah.
And you can write her in. But whenever Javier Becerra was polling at 4%, whenever Swalwell dropped out, he was at the bottom.
True.
Everyone was ahead of him.
True.
I had no idea what I was doing whenever I started like pushing his content out. And we pushed him to the front.
Yeah.
Relation building is where it's at. You have to talk to people in person, as uncomfortable as it is. I hated it.
Yeah.
I actually did it, Zeus. I was at the library talking to people. I bought a shirt out of spite.
Yeah.
Because Tom Steyer started attacking him first. And if you notice in his numbers, that is when Tom Steyer's numbers started tanking, is when he started attacking Becerra, because Becerra is extremely well liked in Sacramento. And you're going to have to work with those people. And here you are tearing that man down who's lived in Sacramento his entire life.
Not a good idea. Good job,
Not
Jess.
a good idea.
Tell him, Jess. W's in the chat for Jess.
He's Californian, born and raised, and Steyer went after the wrong one. You should have worked with him, and you could have locked out Republicans. But here you are, you played yourself.
Good point. Good point. Thank you. W's in the chat.
I also think people in Maine should write Janet Mills' name on the back of their cars, like on the windshield in the back, and just put it out there.
Yeah.
Put even signs up at the library. I called them little Easter eggs. Like, even though I was talking to people, I put little notes that would say, vote for Javier Becerra, or check out Javier Becerra's platform and vote for him for California governor. All over the library. I did like 5 or 6 of them.
Good.
And so like, and text 5 to 6 people you know in real life. Text 5 to 6 people, as many as you can, and make sure they get out and vote, and make sure they're texting their friends as well. And also, I'll close with this. Trump's actions are getting way old. I'm really tired of his immature BS.
Yep.
And I really wish that girl would have told him, quiet piggy, as he was stumbling out.
Wow. W's in the chat for Jess. Yeah, I wish she would have done that too. But honestly, Jess, I think everybody that interviews Trump from here on out, the standard has been set. The bar has been set, so to speak. If he doesn't storm out like that, then you're not doing your job, to be honest with you. and use the word evidence, all right, and say there's none.
Yep.
Just say no evidence, and he'll crash out.
Oh, and then I'll drop after this. Thank you for letting me yap for so long.
No problem.
If they're cutting WIC, they're not pro-life. Okay, you're pro-birth, and I'll end on that.
All righty then. All
Have a
righty
good
then.
day, Zeus.
W's in the chat for my good friend Jess. Wow, we have wow. This has been an amazing, interesting show today, and I want to make sure we all. All right, yeah, I've learned so much. Good morning, Kabira. How you doing, sis?
Good morning, Zeus. How are you? Hello, Kingdom.
Hello. Yeah, hello. We're doing all right.
Good, good. Listen, I wanted to, you know how I feel about Platner.
Yeah.
And I may fall out of grace with the kingdom.
It's your opinion.
But I believe in, yes, fight fire with fire. I'm so sick of Democrats doing a circular firing squad, acting holier than thou. We did this crapola with Franken. Found out he didn't do those things. We do this all the time. Shoot ourselves in the foot. And then the house is on fire. The house is on fire. We have to save democracy. We have to save democracy. But those people, they don't want Janet Mills. They like Platner. Now, I don't live in Maine. I live in California.
True.
If I lived in Maine, to put a check on Trump, I hate to say it, and I may fall out of grace here.
No,
it's
a safe space, Kabira. I mean, no. We don't. We all have our own opinions, but say how you truly feel.
I'm saying it, Zeus. We shoot ourselves in the foot. We want to get Trump out of there, but we don't. Sometimes, Michelle Obama famously said, "When they go low, we go high."
Oh,
I've always said, when they go low, I'm gonna go gutter. Depending on how you treat me, as how you're talking to one of them right now. See, this is why we are where we are. Look, everybody, Fetterman, oh, he's going to save the day. And what happened? The bum is voting even though he votes some Democrat policies, he's hanging with Trump. I mean, let's just think about it, people. We're too judgmental. Now, six women from his past, 3 of them said he was a good guy. One of them said, 3 of them said he was a bad guy. One of them publicly came out and said he did all this, that, and the other. Now, somewhere in between there is the truth. He said he suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what the man said.
Do you believe
and he was
that?
fighting demons. Well, he was in the military. He did several tours. Why not? Why not? Several tours will do it to you. When you're constantly in combat, several tours. Go ahead.
So what about the fact that for me, he seems to not want to own it. I want to see him own it like Hunter Biden. Is he giving you the impression that he's owning his mistakes like Hunter Biden is owning his?
Well, from what I see when he goes on television and he explains it, to me, he's owned it. He said, "Yes, I did those things, and for that, I'm sorry for." Sometimes people say, "Well, that's an excuse," but sometimes you have to explain to people, "Hey, this is what happened to me at a certain period of." I'm not gonna lie, when I got out the Army, Zeus, for a while I was mucked up.
We all.
My parents, they sent me. My parents sent me to a psychiatrist.
Oh, wow.
Because
it was that bad. The what you experienced in serving the country, you're saying there was a lot to unpack there. And so you can
it was a lot.
And you can relate to Platner's, even though, it's the racism, that doesn't make you feel a certain type of way.
I served with people. I served with people that were racist. And I told them they were racist and I just moved on. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't let them define me. I just couldn't do it, Zeus.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So it's you have it in society, you have it in the military, you're gonna have it in every walks of life, and that's a fact. And humans, we're complex creatures. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Do people change? Yes, they do. Has Trump changed? No, he hasn't.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
Now. Platner, we don't know. But I mean, come on now. Look, we constantly do it to ourselves.
So you
even Go ahead.
So I believe, because see, that's why I said there's multiple schools of thought behind this. Personally, I couldn't do it, right? Because I'm getting the vibes. It's a MAGA situation. To me, I think, you know what, TikTok for educational purposes only, and I've said this, I think he could be a plant to a degree, right? But the other side of this is his poll numbers, right? There.
Go ahead.
You can't help but wonder what is going on in Maine behind those poll numbers. So in the event, I got to brace myself for the fact that we really might have to deal with this guy.
I mean, I tell you what's going on with the poll numbers. People are tired of Susan Collins, Mrs. I think he's learned his lesson. Trump ain't learned nothing. The first impeachment.
What about Janet Mills? Why don't they want Janet Mills?
They don't want her. Why they don't want her? I don't know why. Maybe they think she's too old. She is an elderly woman. I mean, what? She's like 79?
78 or something, I guess.
Okay.
So,
and keeping it real, after you get about 70, you shouldn't even be in public service anymore. Go somewhere, sit down, enjoy the rest of your life. Right? So, and not only that, Zeus, you have these old heads, right?
Yeah.
They're thinking 1970, 80, and 90. You got to make way for the young folk. You got to make way for them. We need fresh ideas now.
What are you going to do then if Platner gets in and he turns out to be another Fetterman? Then what? How would you tell your children and your children's children? What would be your reason for saying you voted for him, knowing that you had enough information ahead to just, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't make you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, you're not going to fool me again, so to speak. You know the saying.
Yes, I know the saying.
How would you make it seem like that was the best decision to make in that moment, knowing what we know already? The red flags are there.
Susan Collins. One word, 2 words. Susan Collins. I've had it with her. She double speaks.
Okay.
She's the reason we have Brett Kavanaugh. She double speaks. She does it all the time. And we sit back and we say, we clutch our pearls.
You did bring up a point. This pick also will have an impact on the Supreme Court pick in the event one of the justices decides, to move on. So there's a lot at stake on a national level. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a tough situation. This is a very tough situation. And I'm going to blame? I'm going to blame the people of Maine. W. Zeus. I'm going to blame the people of Maine. How dare you put us in this situation as a country? What on earth? Sorry, Ange, but I had to do it. Why should I be blamed for this at this point? I mean, seriously. What on earth is going on in Maine? Why are we having to vet this guy at this point? Where was the tools that Maine? Ange, I know Ange is sitting there fuming at me. All right. But seriously, we shouldn't even be in this situation. And then you got Bernie Sanders. You know what?
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna bring.
You know what?
Can I bring?
If Bernie agrees with them,
yeah.
I wasn't particularly fond of Bernie Sanders. I mean, I like him. I like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People in Vermont, for him. People in Vermont. It's for the people in Maine to decide. If I lived in Maine, I'd say, okay, Mills. She suspended her campaign. It's like a rat waiting by the hole to come out to grab the piece of cheese to wait and see if the cheese has been poisoned before he goes and snatches it, right?
Yeah.
So she suspended her campaign. All the dirt comes out and don't forget, I just suspended my campaign, but you can still vote for me. What kind of business is that? So you got her, you got him, and you got Susan Collins. Susan Collins has been in there for how many years? 20? No. She was in there when she was a young woman because she looked completely different.
27, Ange? Wow.
She's been in there 30 years. Might as well round it up and say 30. It's time for her to go.
Now, I agree on that part. I definitely agree.
And if Platner can get her up out of there, and if somehow we can, like I said, I don't care who disagrees with me. And Takesha may call me and say, "Nah, Kabira, I can hear her now,
I
but
can hear
that's
Takesha
okay."
in your ear. I can hear a lot of people in your ear, but you chose this morning to be this person. So, and on this show, we do what we do. We have real great, honestly, these are great conversations. Because as much as I want to say one size fits all, I would be lying to all of you if I were to say that. All right. So thank you, Kabira, for coming up here and at least being honest about how you truly feel. I don't think it makes you less of a Democrat at all. You have your perspective and other people have their perspective. And I believe there are at least to me, two perspectives. One is the whole protest vote that's still doing trauma. That's still causing a lot of division within this party, especially, what happened with Vice President Kamala Harris. There's a protest vote. And then, the morals, the side of this that involves the morals, who you are as a person. Now, it wouldn't be a great show if I didn't bring Ange up here because she's from Maine. And she's probably heard some of the things that you've said, Kabira, and she's probably going to have to push back on some of them. But you know what? I'll facilitate the conversation because I'm really good at it. Good morning, Ange. You're back. You heard some things.
First off, let me say, I respect the hell out of Kabira.
Yeah.
I respect the heck out of her, and her opinion is her opinion. I want that first and foremost. She's a wonderful person in this community and so wise, and I love you, Kabira. Okay, let's get that out of the way.
Put the gloves on now. Put the gloves on. Here you go.
Well,
Kabira,
just because I am.
Yeah, I got my teeth guard in.
Yeah, okay, good.
Oh no!
Because we want to see this, and if it needs to get a little muddy, and I need to get the water hose out, I don't mind doing that.
I would never get muddy with Kabira. I can't. I can't do that. I'm just offering up my own kind of local opinion, and there are things I do agree with her on. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Susan Collins has been in there 27 years. She does need to go. I just want to point out the difference between the Al Franken situation and Graham Platner. Graham Platner has taken zero accountability. He makes excuses for himself. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the PTSD from, his service and whatnot, I mean, Kabira can actually, obviously speak to that from being in the service more than I can. But many people have PTSD from many different things.
True.
We can't go around blaming that on the things we are doing, being things on things like on that Kick app. If you
you're saying there's no excuse from the way you see it. You're not giving him any outs for his behavior. Accountability is accountability, period. I don't care if you've seen dinosaurs, right?
I mean, I'm hearing Kabira. I just want to say that I'm hearing her. I just need people to understand, first of all, yes, I'm originally from Vermont. So let's get that straight. I'm in Maine now and I'll be voting here. But I'm embarrassed. I'm saying that because I'm embarrassed of my state right now. I want that clear. I am not one of them. I am not. A lot of these people are coming from the north of this state. And I'm frustrated that I've been sounding the alarm for 7 months. And as Jem had said, there is not a progressive party. She's 100% correct. And I've said this to you, Zeus, too. I like Bernie Sanders. I'm from Vermont. I truly liked what he did for our state. But right now, I also blame him. He's got a big voice, and that's how it all started. He endorsed him, and boom, all of a sudden, Graham Platner's name was out there. Okay. And then you've got, I'm just going to say, you guys, Ro Khanna is making excuses for him. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I have the video. I have to say it. That makes me sick to my stomach, to tell you the truth. I was shocked, disappointed. Elizabeth Warren has come out, still endorsed him. There are others. I was just watching our local channel here. Same thing. Just condoning this. This is really an impossible situation. That's why I do respect what Kabira is saying. And we got to do this tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm losing sleep over this. I truly am, because it is an embarrassment, you guys. It's a reflection of our state, and I'm in it. And it should have never come to this, ever.
So we can blame the people in Maine.
You really can. Yes, you can. I mean, look what's going on. I will say this, big whoop probably at this point. He was ahead 9 points, and now he's ahead 4. I mean, this is just polling, and we know how polling goes. He dropped a few points there, but we know how polling goes. Who the freak knows? But I just wanted to just speak on defend. It's kind of defend myself. This is something that I have been for months. I've gotten pushback on here. If you go on any of my
Yeah.
hashtag going around up here in this disgusting state. It's HORNY for Platner.
Oh my.
Really?
Yes.
Now that's
Yes.
that's
But Ange,
because of his
Oh, they can't
alleged
hear you,
policies.
Ange. They can't hear
okay,
you.
they said what? Oh, can you now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear.
I can hear. Something's
that's
wrong with
weird.
your end. Everyone out there, go swipe out, swipe in. Something's wrong with your app. I'm good.
Oh,
Now
how
you're
about
good.
now? They're saying now they can.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Okay.
I can hear
So,
you.
alrighty. So these people are saying that and talking about the policies. Like Jem said, I mean, he doesn't have anything new that anybody else has been offering anywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm losing my words sometimes because it is total frustration at this point. At least out in California, you guys are given a little bit of time. I thought we had time, because I knew all these things and did the research, but apparently other people and some people just don't care.
Okay, so now what I'm getting is, I think I figured it out. Maine wasn't as liberal as California. Am I right?
No, you're right. You are right.
And maybe we're watching a state that was red turn blue, and this is the appeal that Platner has. I don't know.
He does.
I don't
He's
know.
up in MAGA land, trying to appeal to them, and some he has. Because he sits down and, like I said, I've seen him talking with them and saying we have a lot more in common with MAGA than I thought, were his exact words. Oh, God.
I'm perplexed.
Geez.
I'm perplexed now. What do you think, dear? What do you think?
Yeah.
Are we watching a state like Maine that clearly had Collins? You said how long was Susan there? Would it? So there's no way. There's no way to go from dirty to clean instantly. You got to. There's going to be.
Really isn't.
This is what I think.
Huh.
Like I said, I'm a California voter. I've been following Becerra ever since AG. I voted for him for AG, and I'm glad he moved on, and now he's running for governor. Even when he was at 4%, I knew that's who I wanted to vote for. Okay, It's up to the people of Maine to decide who they want. If I live in Maine, to get that son of a biscuit eater out of the seat of the White House, I don't care. If I have to sling mud, I'm slinging mud. He's got to go. Something, because apparently they aren't checking this guy. Now we could say, oh, but he may end up being a Fetterman. He may end up being a Fetterman. We don't know. But what we do know is the direction Trump is turning the country. We heard what U.S. Army Overlord told us Friday. I'm still thinking on that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there comes Ro Khanna, I listened to everything, and what amazes me about Ro Khanna is this: believe the witnesses with the e-files. Like I said, humans, we're complex creatures, right? The e-files, and he's on board with that, but he's backing this guy. And like I said, 3 women said he did, 3 women said he didn't. All I know is Susan Collins has got to go. We got to have a check on Trump. And if we can end up with 52 senators, I don't care if you put Puff the Magic Dragon in there. Just get the guy up out of that seat in the White House. And that's just the way I feel. And I respect Anne's opinion. She lives there.
Yeah.
I don't live there. I deal with California issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this has been a good conversation. I mean,
Can I just say one last thing about the girlfriend situation? Quite honestly, with that, yeah, Kabira, you're right you're correct. That is what's happening with that. That wasn't what it was for me though. Because honestly, I can admit we're getting close. We are very close. We are at the end here. And we do know about smear campaigns. We do know that this happens. Of course it happens, right?
Yeah.
But it was long before that. And yeah, we're just in an impossible situation. I respect Kabira's opinion and I hear it. I do. I hear it and I understand it. But it's so hard to accept what he has said and done to women. That I think that's the and the racist comments and the freaking tattoo. I mean, the list goes on and on. I have a lot of soul searching, a lot. I won't sleep tonight. I mean,
well, Ange, you
sorry.
can't put the burden all on yourself. Let's just be honest. Because what's been clear to me from this whole conversation, and I've learned a lot from all these different angles that I've been exposed to, because I don't live in Maine either, is Maine is a red state. It pretty much is a red state. There's pockets of people out there that might.
We are allegedly blue, but
no, she was there for 27 years.
No, I know.
You
but
just can't go from darkness to light without a transition period, and so I want to encourage you to do whatever you can in Maine to help these people wake up and understand. You know, they got there's more progress that needs to be made in Maine. But Platner seems to, from what I'm seeing, he seems to resonate with the people in Maine.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. I don't want to be here.
As terrible as he is. And you got to say, these kids that are voting for him, they have all the tools. They have internet. They have social media. So you can't say they don't know. There must be something making them say, despite these other candidates, this is the one we want. And I don't know what that is, to be quite honest.
Some of it's ageism. I think
and
I
that
heard
means
somebody
Maine didn't put
mention
forward good candidates, better candidates.
Well, and the thing is, I'm sorry, I don't like the ageism crap. If you listen to her, if you actually knew her, you hear her speak, she's a far better speaker than I am, and I'm not way younger, but younger than her.
Yeah, it's ageism.
And she is running just for the one term. And in my opinion, I feel like she's doing that because she knows her age. She knows how freaking old she is. She's just trying to get in there and then pass the baton down to somebody. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And I respect everybody's. I hear her side.
No, I think it's important for everybody to know what they need to know about this candidate before they vote. I don't think that's a bad thing. You're saying it, and everyone else out there that's calling out all of his flaws as a leader. I don't think that's something you should be silent about. It is what it is.
But you have to remember, Ange. What did she say? She just wanted to do one term and then
pass the baton.
Pass the baton. And trust me, I was riding with Biden, but isn't that what Biden said? When people get into the seat of power, it changes them. It changes them. She'll get in there, trust me. And the only reason why Joni Ernst isn't going for a third term is because she saw she was getting on Trump's bad side. So she said, let me get the heck out of Dodge. She knew what was getting ready to happen to her, right? So
that's one thing. She's never been afraid of Donald Trump. There's that too.
Oh, she was afraid of him. That's why she voted for all of his cabinet picks.
No, Susan.
Susan. I was talking about Joni Ernst. Okay.
But Susan, my bad. I got you.
Yeah, no, you're good. But only thing I could tell you is you have to vote your heart, vote your conscience, because you'll be the one that has to live with your vote. But just remember that protest vote cost us, VP Harris.
True.
But once again, you have seriously. I just had to throw that in there. But all sincerity, and you have to follow your heart and do what's right for you. You know what I mean?
And I hear the protest vote. You're right. I mean, I hear you on that. I do. I'm listening to everybody. I am. Yeah. I value everybody's opinion in here, especially you, Kabira, very, very, very wise woman that I look up to.
Thank you.
It's just I'm frustrated.
Yeah, we're all frustrated,
guys.
And, the Democrats could do a lot better. But honestly, Ange, you can't put it on yourself because I've come to the conclusion it's a lot of blame to share. They're definitely blaming the people in the state of Maine for their behavior. They embrace this kind of stuff for some strange reason. I mean, and then you got the lack of viable candidates, I guess, on the Democrat side in Maine to at least, maybe have provided better options. But like where we're at right now, we're down to the wire. None of us want Donald Trump to go another day with having unchecked power. Like that's the one thing we all agree on. And so it is what it is. It is what it is. Thank you both.
Well, anyway, Mr. Zeus, Miss Angie, you can go ahead and get ready to drop me. Physical therapist is supposed to be here within the next 10 minutes.
There you go. All right.
So I gotta get up and be ready for her.
All right, you two.
All right, guys. Thank you for therapy.
No problem. No problem. Oh my gosh. Wow. Those in the chat for Kabira and Ange. No lies detected. Let's go. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's not always a walk in the park. This is a very, very interesting predicament. And, everybody has a right to believe what they want to believe going into that voting booth, but nothing that you do, trust me, even if you vote for Platner, that's nowhere near the same thing as voting for Donald Trump, in my opinion. Absolutely not. Because at least with Trump, you knew this guy was terrible and you still went and did it. You set aside all of your morals, all right? If you do it this time and you are still able to consciously acknowledge that, this is a terrible candidate, and you make that decision, that's between you and God. That's between you and God. That's between you and God. I got bigger problems, bigger fish to fry, especially when you look at what's currently going on here in the United States. Let's see. All right, who do we got next? Alter Ego, what are you putting your hand in your face for? What are you putting your hand in your face for, Alter Ego? Is there something that I said that offended you? Good morning, Poetivity. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. So Ange is in Maine, so why don't they write in Ange?
There you go.
Like, she would be a great representative.
You're danged if you do, you're danged if you don't, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I don't know who the biggest social media influencer is in Maine, but they should contact the Democratic one of those and just push to have that person in.
W's in the chat for Ange. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe that was because you're right.
I mean, they could blast it really fast and the person could blast it really fast, and hopefully they can unseat this, schnazi tattoo guy. Because I really feel like that we're going to see a lot of that. We've really got to vet our candidates because there will be MAGAs that run as Democrats. In the town that I grew up in, Livermore, California, is very liberal, but they got a Republican mayor just by that. He ran as a Democrat. And so it is so important that we vet them when they know that they're losing by 20 points in areas that Trump won. They are going to switch teams and pretend to wear all the, Democratic policies, but they will not be Democrats. And they're that dishonest. Republicans are that dishonest. They are so dishonest that they will do anything to grab power, including lie straight up about which party they're in. Where'd you go? Oh, I'm all alone. I don't know where Zeus went. Anyway, so donate to Zeus, donate to Takesha. They make me laugh every day. And if you're in Maine, vote for Ange. That's all I wanted to say. I don't know where he went. That's weird. There you are. I was like, where'd Zeus go? Yeah, I'm here. I just
no. I had to fix my audio again. It's for some strange reason I'm having problems. But they can hear you, right?
Yeah, they heard me. I just.
Whenever I do that, you can just keep doing what you're doing. The show must go on, all right? But trust me, these people, they're going to be listening to you and supporting you, all right? W's in the chat for positivity. Sometimes we're having audio issues, but I'm glad they could hear you.
Yeah, no, I didn't know where you went, so it got really awkward for me.
Oh, no. You're good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what I want to say is we've got to vet our candidates we've got to dig for dirt like Trump digs for dirt on everybody. And
yeah.
I don't know what his dirt finding team is, but they will find, if you bent down and kissed your granddaughter's head at a funeral and use that against you. So I think that we've got to be as vicious as the Republicans are against candidates, make scandals out of things that are not scandals. And we have got to expose the true nature and lying nature of the Republican Party right now, because they are a party who has zero moral compass. In fact, their moral compass goes below the dirt in how awful it is. They don't care about other humans. They don't think that government is for that. They think government is a giant unaliving machine, and that's all they want to use it for. And they don't serve the public at all. And so we need to take that party and make sure that, I wouldn't mind if we had like regular Democrats and progressives at this point as the two parties. But the Republicans' morals are so low, and their actions have been so detrimental to this country in every single way, that it just feels like it's time for that party to go 6 feet under and just have reasonable people debating what policies to run our society on.
Thank you. All right, Positivity. Well, that's a great way to wrap things up, all right? And as always, thank you for your continued support and your honesty. You don't have to, but you always do it. All right? And sorry about that.
Well, I do support you because I stopped donating to the Democratic Party. I stopped donating to candidates. I stopped donating to all of the political machine because I figured we can do it without donating. We can write on the back of our car windows who we support. We can write on the back of our car windows as we drive around like what we believe in.
Right.
And we can wear it on shirts, and we can talk to people in the stores, and we can spread our beliefs and our things there and take money out of politics is the first thing that needs to happen for sure. And I want them to spend less time fundraising and more time actually helping the American people. And so I'll donate to you because you spread that.
Thank
and
you.
I'll donate to Keisha because she spreads it. And I'll choose those people who are doing good work to donate to.
Aww.
And I don't need to do it to political candidates anymore. So
thank you.
That's what I do.
Well, I thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Now.
Okay.
All right then. All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. That's Positivity. All right. Well, guess what? Big Zeus has to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how the show managed to stay on the rails. W. Kabira. I do not know how this show stayed on the rails, but W. July Love. But it's been quite the show. And thank you, Ange. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jess. Positivity. Nutty. Yeah, make sure you support Nutty, Takesha, and everybody. Honestly, W's in the chat for all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Without you, this show would not be possible. Look at all that love in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Despite all the lagging and stuff, you should see my machine. It's like literally crashing. You all are helping to make one of the best shows on TikTok possible. All right, thank you. Look at that. Hey, Alter Ego. I get so frustrated looking at you in the comment section, trying to be the antagonist of every situation. Either you're a Democrat or you're not, champ. Cut all of this nonsense out. It's always W. Zeus All right, it's always W Zeus. All right, and again, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. If you come on the show and you're being open and honest about how you feel about things, then we're gonna hear you out. Right? W's in the chat for Maddie. You cannot sit in the comment section of the show all day criticizing those who are brave enough to get in the box and speak their truth. All right, it's the most un-American thing I've seen in the audience so far. They're saying how they feel about a situation going on in Maine, and it's not an easy situation for a lot of people, and I totally get that. But I'm going to rest with understanding that the people in Maine, obviously, you got a long ways to go in order to become a progressive state, and that I'm just going to say this is what happens when you're in the transition phase, so to speak, after 27 years of being under Republican rule, and you start to see the light coming out of the sky starts to part. You see, and so you're starting to walk towards that light, and you're starting to realize, oh my gosh, we're really dirty out here. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just more awareness coming to you in terms of how much progress you need to make. I'll say this though, whoever the candidate is in Maine, we're going to be monitoring this situation. All right, we're going to be monitoring and helping to make sure you don't backslide into that Republican stuff that we were just with you on. You know, we saw you dealing with it with Susan Collins. If we start seeing any of that kind of stuff coming out of Maine with the new candidate, I'm going to be honest, all hell's going to break loose. It really is. Because a lot of this, you're talking about protest votes. I heard that today. There's a lot of anger behind the protest vote. The just doggone disgusting character traits that this guy has. I mean, all that's going to come right back up to the top the moment this thing starts to seem like folks are backsliding in Maine. And I would hate to actually have to come out to Maine and explain in Maine, you got to get it together, all right? So that's a huge W Zeus. But please, do not put Susan Collins back in that seat. Please don't do that, all right? Now, y'all got to figure it out after that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today. And I will see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. All right, here we go. I know what we need. This is going to calm us down. There you go. Let's go. Have a great morning. Thank you, everybody. No candidate is perfect. You're right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all.
Read the votes dead or night. Yeah, that ain't right. What about Biden? Borders wide open, let them flood it. Millions crossing, drugs pouring.
Have a great rest of your morning.
What about Biden? Gas prices sky, inflation wide.
What a show.
Economy dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden? Afghanistan mess left them behind.
July love, thank you. Alter Ego is the judge. Zena. W's in the chat for Marissa. Thank you. Yeah. Alter Ego. Where's the galaxy at? Remember? All talk. Thank you, everyone. All talk. But it's okay. At least you show up. That's really what's important, to be honest with you. All right? Just my favorite part right here. Thank you, she did.
Keystone cancel, energy weak, depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police, chaos for peace.
What about Biden? Hunter already gave you an answer. Dragon fighter. Tell him, man. Tell him, Evan. Economy dying, can't feed your child. Remember? You gotta hear the pain in his voice. Big Fred. Joe acting blind. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Here goes. My favorite part. Thank you, President Biden. Oh, look at that Alter Ego. Thank you, brother. All right, you know what, Alter Ego? I knew it. I'll see you around. But thank you, Joe Biden, for indicting Donald Trump and 1,600 Trump supporters going straight to prison. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here.